And so you can understand why most couple would make sure that both of them work, no matter how they do it. Even if it means one person working night and one person working day, most times they really need that second income to make ends meet. So I've come across a number of videos addressing similar topic, but I feel like some important details are missing. So in this video, I'll break it down and give you important details which you need to bear in mind and budget for when you're trying to figure out if your monthly income in the UK would be enough. So we're going to stick with the basic expenses which most people would need in order to survive living here in the UK. So the first thing we're going to budget for would be food. And that would also include some home expenses, like if you need to replace your spoons, buy dish tablet or buy laundry tablet, just things like that has to do, very little things that have to do with the home, not major expenses, but the bulk of it would be buying food per month. So this budget will mostly work for a family of 3/family of 4. You can tweak it here and there to, if your family is larger, to accommodate your family needs. For the food and the home keeping, we're going to keep a budget of £500. So the next thing we'd budget for would be gas and electric. So gas/electric, we're going to put this at £130. So bear in mind that these £130 per month for gas and electric, you're not going to sit in the dark and be cold, or your house will be so cold and all of that. No, you won't have to do that. However, you would have to be mindful of your usage and then be really careful. So for example, don't leave the lights on if there is no one there. Don't leave the TV on if there is no one watching it. And then the heating, just use the central heating and basically time your heating to come on at certain points in the day when you really need it. And then the next thing we're going to budget for would be phone. Now this is mobile phone, and this mobile phone, so we'll leave this at £15, and this is for a SIM only phone. It doesn't include the amount you would pay if you actually went to the phone company and they gave you a phone with a SIM inside. So this is just SIM only. If you're going to get into a phone contract with an actual phone, then that would be significantly higher. You might be looking at £30 and all of that. So this is SIM only. Again, we're sticking to the very basics. So you use your old phone or use whatever phone you have. So we'll keep this at £15. That would give you a really good deal. You will get some really good gigabyte. The next thing we'd budget for would be internet and /broadband. I saw an option with some providers where you get really good deals, and the deal starts from £34. So I'm leaving this budget at £40 just to give you wiggle room, if you need it. So internet /broadband at £40, it will give you everything you need. So this will provide you high-speed internet. So the next we're going to budget for would be TV license. So everyone in the United Kingdom who has a TV, pay for TV license. That is fixed. There's nothing you can do about that. This is currently fixed at £13.25 per month. And then the next thing we'd budget for is transport. Now for the transport, because we are sticking to the really basic budget, I'm going to be doing transport for a bus. And we'll leave that at £150, which is quite generous. No matter where you live, I think this is quite enough to cover the bus fare for a month in most cases, and you probably have some few change out of it. Now, if you're going to take the train, the amount will be significantly higher. And the next on our budget is very important because you need somewhere to live. That is the rent. Any other place outside of London, other cities that are not that expensive, this amount should get you a decent place to live, and we're looking at getting a 2 to 3 bedroom apartment or house with the 850 budget. And then the next thing we need to budget for, which is compulsory, is the council tax. If your property is around band A/band B or closer to band A and band B, your council tax will be a lot lower than people whose properties are on band D and the higher bands. And the way this banding works out is based on how much your property costs. So if you live in a bigger property, which obviously would cost more, then your tax band will be closer to the D and a higher band. But if you live in a smaller property or property that is cheaper, just basically how much your property costs, then you'll be closer to A. So because we are renting, we are not looking to live in a really big house. We're only budgeting for a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom house in a decent neighborhood, not too expensive. So the council tax band, we are looking at it to not be above B. So we're looking at a budget of £125 per month. And then the next thing we need to budget for, I know some people would say, oh, but that's not essential, but I think it is. That's clothing and personal. One thing I have learned from all the gurus of finance and all of that, which I spend a lot of time watching them on YouTube or listening to them wherever I can find them, is if your budget is not realistic, then you would throw it out of the window because it won't work. So I think it's important to put clothing and personal on the budget, and we'll leave that at £50, just so as to make the budget as realistic as possible. Again, some people might think, oh, but this is not necessary. It is. It's necessary. You need to have some miscellaneous in your budget for it to be realistic and for it to work, especially if you're planning to make sure that the money you would earn will be enough. It's important that you have some wiggle room. We're going to leave the miscellaneous at £100. The very, very final one, which is childcare. Before I put the childcare in the budget, I think it's important to mention that if you're moving to the UK, just plan as much as you can to avoid paying childcare, which is like nursery, daycare sort of childcare. If your child or children goes to primary school, you might still need to pay some form of additional money because schools are free, but then schools only close at 3 something or 3:15, and most people work till 5. If you can arrange with your partner or your husband or your spouse that both of you, someone works days, the other one works night, or someone works from home, just anything that can help you avoid paying nursery, that would be fantastic. And that's because the nursery fees can be quite expensive. And for the childcare, you're looking to pay round about £936 if you were to put your child in daycare or nursery for the full day. That gives us a total figure of £2,909.2. So let's just say £2,909. So you can see that this will be way over the budget of most average earners in the UK. However, if you're going to be coming in with a spouse or a partner or just someone basically who will be sharing this house with, so I would imagine that if you're renting a 2-bedroom house and this budget is for a family of 3/4, then there will be someone else. And if the person is working, then hopefully your income would be double, and that is how you're going to survive. You can see from this calculation that most earners who are around the middle range, which is where a lot of the UK residents actually fall into. So most people, their income would really struggle to absorb all the expenses they need to survive on day-to-day basics. And this is just the basic expenses, like I mentioned, nothing extravagant. We're not even talking of traveling anywhere or visiting anyone or giving anybody money or even saving, which is very important. And so you can understand why most couple would make sure that both of them work, no matter how they do it, even if it means one person working night and one person working day just to manage childcare. Most times they really need that second income to make ends meet. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in my next video.